It is an absolute privilege to grow old, because I know firsthand that so many people do not get that privilege to do so. Hi everyone, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. I'm trying out a little something different. I'm using my sofa side table, which is a little bit bigger, so I can try to hide my mirror. I want to see how this goes. I'm hoping that this setup will work. I wanted to do a get ready with me. Now I will tell you that I did film my you can't make this stuff up video. I don't feel like blooping it out. But I haven't put it up yet because as I was editing, I'm like, I was saying a few things that I'm really not sure how they would come across. So I am pausing on that, debating whether or not to refilm it. So while I was debating, I wanted to have some content to put up. I have so many ideas for videos, but they're all get ready with me videos. I just don't want to like sit down and talk about them while not doing something. I wanted to use some One Size products. I realized as I was going through my things, trying to figure out what I'm getting rid of, etc., I found a bunch of One Size products, and I've never done like a video using all of them. Obviously it's not a full face, and it's all things that I have received in boxes. I've never gone out, or did I? I think I did. I think I bought his palette. Did he even come out with another palette? I don't remember. I had purchased when it was like 50% off from Sephora. That was really quite a while ago. I do have my little baby fan on. I'm hoping that it's not going to be as intrusive sounding as the fan. No, the air conditioner. Let me put it over here and see if it's farther away. I don't know, I'm trying my best. I cannot wait for the cold weather. I'm telling you, my eyes are so dry, so I just had to, put on some more eye cream. What am I using? The Saturday Skin. I know I'm just trying a bunch of different ones. I'm going through them a lot. So I talked about the One Size products. I should not get up and leave my brain here. I should probably take my brain with me when I walk away. I'm using the realher lip oil that we got. I really like this. Now, the idea for this video, I didn't know which one to film, let's put it that way. So this one's going to be titled Perception versus Reality, and I received a new primer in my latest box, I believe the Icon, and this is the KVD Pore Refining Primer, at least that's what I think it says. I'm probably going to link these in the description box if my lazy butt can do so, and if I do, they're going to be magic links, which means I do make a commission if you use them. I wonder if Michaela should, take some advice from those of us who are smaller creators who always say that we use, affiliate links if we have them. It almost looks silicone-y. It has that texture. It really doesn't have a smell, which is good because a lot of silicone primers have that distinct chemical smell to them. Hi, Tuxedo. Yes, I know. Yes, Tuxedo. May I help you, sir? This feels very matte. I think it is good for a day like today where I'm kind of sweaty. I'm hoping that my fan doesn't die because I'm going to be more sweaty. I don't know how it would be in the wintertime. It's not pilling up, or I don't like having to make disclaimers all the time, but my main goal is I never want to hurt anybody, I never want to insult anybody, I never want to make anyone feel bad about themselves. I also don't want to try to garner sympathy for myself. These are just my opinions, my thoughts. I'm sharing them with you. And of course, I value your feedback, but I don't want any of those things to compel you to say something you might feel out of obligation. I want you to share your thoughts. I want you to share your troubles and woes, and if you feel like I do. But again, it's going to be perception versus reality for sure. So I also received this One Size Beauty. I gotta put on my glasses. One Size Turn Up the Base BB Cream Beauty Blur Balm. Does that what BBB means? Doesn't say BB, it says BBB. And I have mine, and I complain about it all the time, but how am I supposed to see that label there and read it? How? This is light 1R, and it says light rosy undertones. Now typically that would be more cool toned. I have tried it once, but I'll be darned if I remember if I liked it. I do like the packaging. It's very cute. Convenient that it has that little flippy toppy. I know, I use crazy words, crazy description of things. Oh, that's too light. And I just got foundation on my sleeve. Can you see that? Is that a little bit better? I turned down the lights. Oh boy. Anyway, you know, that's actually not bad. Can you even see? Am I like blown out? I can tell you that on top of the silicone primer, it feels definitely like it's going to stay put, if that makes sense to you. Apparently, it appears that it's blending nicely. Can I see thoroughly? No, not at all. Neither can I apparently tell how much is going to come out of the tube. So the reason I called this perception versus reality is because, if you don't know, I am 53, going to be 54 shortly, and I'm not exactly where I thought I would be. To the outside world, I think I'm perceived as my age or older. And the reason I say that is because in my mind, I may be almost 54, but in my head, I'm still like 30. But I also don't think I speak with necessarily the maturity that one might expect. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking that whole thing too much. Well, I think it's actually going on very nicely. As far as I can see in this mirror, I'll probably go up and look in the bathroom as well. It did a decent job of covering up. It really doesn't feel sticky or like you have to set it. Again, I'm not sure whether that's the primer or that's the foundation. By the way, I am well aware of the hair. I know that I could probably house a mother bird and her babies in this, but it's still too hot, and I didn't feel like doing it. So I'll go with the baby. If you hear chirps, that's what it is. Does he have a concealer? I should have looked it up before. I wasn't going to go out and buy it, but I'm just curious if he does. So I'm going to use one of my Shape Tapes. This is the Ultra Creamy. And then I also have my Joah, which is not a lot of coverage, but it doesn't kick up on me. I've spoken about before how I have aged so drastically in the last few years. It could be a lot of things. It could be going into menopause. It could be the stress and trauma that I've gone through in such a short amount of time. I mean, and it could be just regular old aging. And let me say this, it is an absolute privilege to grow old, because I know firsthand that so many people do not get that privilege to do so. But as humans, or at least I know I'm human, not saying that you guys aren't human, but I think you know where I'm coming from. I have a tendency to think about things probably too much. So when I look in the mirror, I recognize my aging, and I've been so lax in taking care of myself. I've been so tired. Again, not what the video is about, but I come home, I take care of the bare minimum obligations, and I lay down and go to sleep. And I can sleep for 20 hours a day if I had the ability to do so. And if I'm all over the place in this video, I'm not going to apologize and say, oh, I'm so sorry about it. It's just stream of consciousness, how I'm thinking, how I'm feeling, etc. So even though this doesn't apparently need to be said, I do want to use the One Size powder. I have used this before. As you can tell, it's been well used. I want to try to finish this up like I did with my ABH powder. It is slightly tinted, and I did not bring my powder puff. I don't think I liked this underneath my eyes. Am I going to use my fingers while I use this? I don't know. Now I can definitely see the powder, but I said usually it works really quite well with my other foundations. I'm going to use my finger just for a minute and press underneath my eyes. I also have the Turn Up the Base Powder Foundation in Light Neutral, but look what happened. I think it came this way, and I probably made it worse the more I used it. I did use it quite a bit, and I really liked it. I use this on top of a very light coverage foundation that needs a little bit more coverage, and this works very nicely. I don't need it today because the liquid foundation offered, I think, just the perfect amount of coverage as far as I can tell. I don't like it here though. I don't like anything here though. I have to smooth that out. I did want to try the new Pat McGrath bronzer that I received in my icon box. This is called Bronze Dawn. I was very concerned that it was going to be too light when I first got it, but it is just a nice subtle bronze. I'm already starting to wear off the embossing. I've gotten so accustomed to everything being so intense and so over the top that I forgot what a nice subtle bronzer looks like. I haven't tried this with my Sephora brush yet. This is a beautiful angled brush. Sometimes I will use it for contour, for placement, but the way it's angled, I think it applies just the bronzer nicely. So as I was saying, I know that I have most definitely changed. I've also gained weight because of the MS. I haven't been able to exercise, and I'm also blaming it on menopause because I never used to really have to think about what I ate. Now I eat one little thing and it's all over with. If I could exercise more, I could probably combat that, and also I want to just keep myself healthy. I'm going to tell you like a little story. It seems like I used to be attracted to older men when I was younger, and I always had a tendency to date older. Now, when I was 37 and first divorced, I'll admit I dated somebody for like 6 months that was 10 years younger than me. Here's the thing. The Cheek Clapper Blush Trio. I have mine in Attention Seeker. I don't want to spend too much on this or else I'm going to forget what the heck I was talking about. This has the powder blush with the adorable little smiley faces. This is like a blush topper or a highlighter, and this is the cream blush. Hold on, it's got the little window, which is very nice. I did read up on this. You're supposed to apply the powder brush first and then the cream blush. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually put a picture of my ex-boyfriend. You know, the one that I was finally so happy to finally have a relationship, and I called him Gary Sinise because that's exactly what he looked like. I'm actually going to put a picture of us together at my friend's wedding. Remember when I married my friend? He was 5 years younger than me, and I thought even for his age, he was adorable. This is that baby pink blush, but you know, I've been stepping out of my comfort zone, and I think with the right look and the right application, it does look pretty. I'm just not used to it. It's not what I prefer, but I do use it and have fun with it. And I was very disappointed because I was very happy that I finally found somebody, which I didn't think I would. And, you know, I'm not ready to resign myself to the fact that I'm going to be alone forever. I've said it that I would be, and I would be okay with it, but in the reality, I'm very, very lonely. I want a partner in life. I thought I had brought out another brush, but apparently I didn't. So I'm going to try this one in the cream. I'm going to tap it on my hand. I'm going to try with my finger. See, to me, I'm not sure. I'm not quite understanding the purpose of the dual blush. I mean, what difference is it making? I don't know. But as you can see, I don't really have a type of person that I'm attracted to, but there just has to be something about him, and I just thought he was adorable. So I'm back on the dating sites. I don't know why. Like I said, maybe because I'm resigning myself to the fact that as much as I tell myself things, I really don't want to be alone. I'm using the lightest blush topper. See, I just think this is like overkill. I don't think you need all of this. I think maybe just this in a blush or this in a blush. I don't see the purpose of all three of them. I mean, if I'm using it wrong or incorrectly, please let me know. So anyway, I'm going onto the sites, because I only talk to my damn cats. I mean, I have full-on conversations with them, and I'm becoming that crazy old cat lady. And I find that the people that I'm attracting are in their mid-50s to early 60s. And I guess, you know, I'm saying to myself, oh my goodness, how can that be? But it's age appropriate at this point. And I don't necessarily always judge by the picture and see if I like their profile and want to make sure that they're just not looking for a hookup, because I got news. Men in their 60s, if they are looking young, and of course, you want to be attracted to them in a picture just as an initial thing. Those men are just say like hookups, and they have like the most narcissistic, self-centered profile that you could ever possibly imagine. They think they're a God's gift to women because they're older and they have a great body and they look a certain way. And those are the ones that want a much younger woman with like this perfect body, which I'm not, nor do I want to be for somebody else. Here is the One Size palette. Again, it came out many years ago. It's a very pretty color story. I'm actually going to go with the greens and browns today. I try to give people a chance, but should I just pretend to be attracted to somebody to have companionship in my life? But is that fair to them? But if I'm not attracted to them, should I have to force myself? I'm going to put Manila Sands all over. Oh, I'm using my Lithe brushes. I was very excited. I have not used these at all yet. So, a person doesn't have to have a certain look or be traditionally attractive to most people for me to find them attractive. Sometimes the more you know somebody, the more you talk to them, the more you hang out with them, the person can become even more attractive than you first initially realized. And that does happen with me a lot. I have not necessarily gone out with, again, traditionally, universally attractive men. It has to be something that I find attractive about that person. I want to use the same brush because I want to do a crease color, but I don't want to go too low. So I'm going to, should I start with this peach or just go in? You know what? Let me check. Think and stop, Leann. It's called Mango. It's actually pigmented and I like it. I forgot that I liked this palette. Again, I got bad reviews for some reason. I'm really not sure why. I mean, maybe other people have more of a critical eye than I do. So the thing is, I'm clicking on these profiles that I'm not initially attracted to the person, but I do like their profile. It was thoughtful. They didn't just put hey, which some grown men actually still do. And I have conversations with them. Now, I do not want to date non-locally. I don't want to drive an hour and a half to see somebody because I'm tired all the time. I don't have a lot of time, and yes, it's limiting myself, but it's just, for me, makes sense. I have to do what's going to make sense for me. And a lot of people who I find attractive in their pictures and makes me want to then read their profile, they all live like ridiculously far from me. I think I'm going to have to get some more brushes. These brushes are not all that I need to create a look. I'm going to put Suede Charm on my lower lash line. Ones that I find that are local, that are younger, don't match me back. When I look in the mirror, and there goes my memory card. Okay, by the way, I moved you in a little bit because I don't know if you could see anything that I was doing, but regardless, I'm going to keep at it. What I was saying before my memory card made me forget is that when I look in the mirror, sometimes I perceive myself as, oh my goodness, I'm old, and I look old. And sometimes I say, I still look young. I am young. What are you talking about? So because, I never go anywhere. I don't go out. I don't go out to eat. I don't go to get drinks. Mostly because of financial reasons. If I had the financial means, I might. I've gone out to eat by myself. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal. But I was talking to somebody, and again, I wasn't attracted to his picture. It was okay, but I don't know. It was almost, I was trying to find something attractive. And I don't like to converse over the app too long, because then you build up this expectation of how they're going to be in person, and sometimes you're highly disappointed. So he said, are you spontaneous? I said, sure, why not? So he suggested a drink, and I was very, very familiar with the place that he suggested. He looked like his picture, He was 60, by the way. I had told him, if we're going to be spontaneous, I said I had just filmed the video, but then I took off all my makeup and I put on my pajamas, and that's how I was hanging out. I said, so I'm going to be very casual. I put on a pair of jeans, which is the only pair of pants that I actually own. I don't have anything else but jeans. And I threw on like a zip-up hoodie, and I headed out the door. I threw a baseball cap on so I didn't have to do my hair, etc. And he said that was fine. I wasn't initially attracted, as I stated, but you know, he seemed very nice. I'm going to put Olivet, which is very cute, that metallic green. Let me just swatch it on my hand for you. Very pretty, not too over the top, and I'm going to actually put that on with this flat brush first before I do the rest of my crease color. So we ordered drinks, and at first appearance, I mean, even from his, you know, profile, he not bragged about his wealth, but made his wealth known. And I don't care how much money you have. Gary Sinise didn't have a lot of money. I paid for a lot of things for us, which was totally fine. So it's not, money doesn't impress me. You being a good person and a kind human is what impresses me. And I could tell throughout our conversation that he was not necessarily bragging about the things he had and the wealth, but he was mentioning, you know, the house in the Berkshires, this house, I lived here, I lived there. The vacations, the businesses that he owns, how he was fairly well known as in his industry, and he was going on, and I was telling him about my very simplistic life that I currently lead these days. I'm also going to take matcha, that matte green, and try to, you know what, let me bring this up more first. This is a beautiful color. So instead of asking me a lot of questions, he did talk about himself quite a bit, and I would have to interject with things that maybe I could associate with what he was talking about. And then I would follow up with questions like, oh, how did you get into that, etc. Look at that beautiful olive green color. It definitely matches my shirt. Anyway, we wound up talking for a good 2 hours. He was entertaining. I had gone to the bathroom, and then when I got back, he had paid for the drink. We talked for a few more minutes. He's like, oh, you ready to go? Sure. I said, thank you so much for buying the drink. And he walked me outside, and he goes, where did you park? I said, I parked all the way over that way. He goes, well, I'm all the way over that way, the other side. I was, okay. I kind of gave him, like, you know, a hug, goodbye. And we'll talk soon. I'd love to do it again. I was like, great, thank you. I said, you know, get home safe, whatever. Honestly, it was a little spooky and creepy because the parking lot was dark. I'm like walking to myself, I'm like looking around me. The Bronx girl in me came out. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll give it another chance. I'll go out with him again. I think you have to go out with somebody a few times to, again, see if something grows on you, if the attraction grows. When I got home, I said, thank you so much, you know, for the drink. Really nice to meet you. I had a good time. And he goes, thanks, you as well. So a couple of days went by. A week went by. Okay, let me just text him. So I said, I'm not sure if you are still interested. I haven't heard from you. Thank you. It was very nice to meet you, and I wish you the best of luck. And I never heard back from the man. Thinking, I'm blaming things, I guess, on myself, you know? Ugh. And then the worst thing was, I don't necessarily have to put on makeup to go out. I'm not going to run to Dunkin' Donuts and do a full face. So I have news for you. When I was younger, I absolutely did. I wouldn't be out of the house without some kind of makeup on. So what it left me thinking was, what didn't he like about me? And of course, that's what I've always done, is beat myself up and question myself. And the thing that really, really got me and started me on this conversation in my head about how I feel, about how I perceive myself, and then how others are perceiving me. Oh, I was talking, see what I mean, people? I was talking about going to Dunkin' Donuts, and again, sometimes I'm wearing makeup, sometimes I'm not, but this particular day, I threw in a baseball cap, hat on, and as I was going in, I saw a man. I don't know how old he was. In my mind, he's my age, but he definitely wasn't my age. Very good-looking man. This is going to sound so weird. How do I say this without sounding like a complete ass? At one point in time, I thought he might have looked in my direction. And I'm not going to lie and say that I didn't enjoy that when I was younger. Is that horrible? How should I feel about myself? And yes, I'm asking you how I should feel about myself that I used to do that. Oh, I'm also going to use this One Size brown liner. I had worn it on camera and I said I wasn't really sure how I felt because of it. It didn't make my look stand out. And I still haven't tried this with just a simplistic look yet. I'm going to try it. If I don't like it, I'm going to use the powder in there for a liner. I saw him in the parking lot. He walked in after me. There was a girl, I'm going to say a girl because she was obviously in her 20s, young, shorts, cute little tank top. And while I'm admiring him, he was admiring her. She wasn't paying any bit of attention, but I kept seeing him looking over at him. And at that moment, I said, Leann, you are fooling yourself. You are delusional. There is no way that that man would ever look in your direction, and it's time that you admitted it. You know, I should shut up. I think I like this. On the one eye, I actually did a cute little flick. You know, I'd always pictured growing old with someone. And honestly, when you're married a long time, you love them when they were young and how they looked. And the more you're together, you love them no matter what they look like. Or at least that's how it should be when you're married. I like the look I got. I really like the greens. I want to play with this again, and I want to do more of these warmer colors, and especially you can see I've used that one quite a bit. I'll absolutely play with that palette. I do have an unopened ABH Brow Wiz. I finished up all of the little babies that I had, and I was very excited to find this one in my arsenal. This is one of my favorites. This and the Precisely My Brow, and I know they have like a new teeny tiny baby one from Benefit, but here is a full size in taupe. I am using some of my glaucoma medicine on my brows because I can't believe I'm not over plucking my brows. They're just getting thinner and thinner and thinner. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not plucking them. Why is that happening? So every night after I put my drops in, I take some of it on my finger and I'm running it over my brows. To me, this is working throughout my entire brow. Or am I just delusional as well with my brows? I have now accepted, get it out of your head, Leann, nobody that young is going to find you attractive. And that's okay. I just had to get it into my head that I'm not 30 anymore. And so because I don't find a lot of older men attractive, do I fake it? And is that fair to them to be with them even though I have no attraction, just to have companionship? And of course, I am opening up myself to judgment in the comments, and I will take them. That also happens to fall with under perception versus reality. What I may perceive as something I've said or something I'm thinking to be not so bad, somebody else may say, think about this for a second. Think about how you sound. And it is. And there it is. My perception was one thing. The reality is something different. And sometimes it's not just somebody's opinion. Sometimes you say, that's reality. This is from M Cosmetics. It's the Pick Me Up Volume and Length Mascara. I received this in a box. Oh, this looks like a really nice little thin spiky wand. Oh, it is that spiky wand with the hard bristles that really grips at the base of your lashes. It reminds me of the Tarte mascara, and I happen to love that feeling. I don't like mascaras that bounce off of your lashes because for me they wind up making it look clumpy. Like, do you see how this one pulls through my lashes instead of, as I said, bouncing off of them? By the way, in case you are new, I do have long lashes because of the medication I take, so you always have to judge my mascaras with that in mind. But you can see that it did make an immediate difference on them. So will I take a chance and go out with somebody from the app just to get out of the house, but that's not fair to them as well if I'm not going to take it seriously? Or do I just get off of it? And being alone is not necessarily a bad thing. I'm just trying to figure it all out in my brain. That is really annoying. Great. Just great. What do I care? You'd think I was going out. By the way, I got this duck plump for free because it was a 3 off of $12 coupon at CVS, and then I had my $10 that I get every month from CVS, so this wound up being free. Yay me. This is from NYX. I have been told that the Duck Plump is absolutely insane. It even says extra spicy on here. I got the clear because the colors were too dark, and I didn't want to make the same mistake that I did with the fat oil. First of all, I hate the names from NYX, but anyway, I didn't want to make that same mistake, so I bought clear. Now, the doe foot is very unique because normally they have like an indent on one side, but you can see this is kind of squeezed in the middle. I don't know how much detail you can see, and I liked it because you could almost do that. I wouldn't, but you could. You got this outside of your lip line, you're going to look red around your lips. Oh darn, I should have done one side and not the other so you could see the difference. By the way, these Lithe brushes did an awesome job. I needed a couple more because I'm really particular about the brushes that I use and what I need them for, but they were really nice. Now, do I want to use this buxum? I think this is like an orangey color, and it would go well with the colors I'm using. And then I love this lifter gloss from Maybelline. This is in 011. What am I talking about? I had tried a couple of the others and I think that they were the wrong color. I'm sorry, but the right color really makes a difference. This has a bit of a peachy undertone and it's not too overpowering. It has a little bit of glitter, so a little bit of shine, and I'm unsure about this. One doesn't burn at all. This one is in Spicy Sienna, but I do really like that it has a little lip brush. Let me show you what this looks like. It's a really pretty color, but as I said, I've been struggling with lip liner lately because I have to overcorrect this side, which for some reason is drooping. Again, it probably has to do with some of the bone loss, but this side has gotten thinner and lower and they are not even, which is why I only use gloss or light colors that don't draw attention to my lips. And are you a little no-see-um or you a fly? Nothing that breeds is allowed in my house. I've mentioned this. They need to go. I don't know, I see a bit of a difference. You know what I think I need to do is I need to ask myself, why am I only attracted to younger men? Is that my willingness to not acknowledge or accept my age or reality? I'm just going to put this lifter gloss on. These also smell heavenly. So let me go over the products just a little bit, and then I'm going to give you my conclusion. First of all, the palette, I happen to like it. I even liked the unique opening that you have a little lip here so that it is easy to open. This primer, I think maybe, even in the summer, it feels a little too drying to me. I'm going to give it another shot, maybe with one of my skin tints or something like that. I'll try it a few more times. I already know how much I love my ABH brow products. I'm changing my mind about this One Size. I think maybe I had too much of a dark color on my lid for it to have any impact. You can let me know if it does have any impact. In my mirror, to my eyes, I thought it looked pretty nice. So far, I really like this M Cosmetics mascara. I have one other M Cosmetics thing, and I think it's a liquid blush, which I'm hoping to do a video with as well. I have another idea. I have all these freaking ideas that never come to fruition half the time. If you haven't, give this realher lip gloss thingy, lip oil, whatever you want to call it, a try. It's fabulous. I changed my mind completely about this bronzer. I absolutely love it. It's fabulous for every day. I think it has really good coverage. As you can see, I didn't need to cover up much of my hyperpigmentation or anything after I had this on. I do want to try it again. You know, when I'm getting ready in the morning, I just slap stuff on, make sure I look decent, and I'm out the door. I'm not overly thinking about how something is working or what it works with. That's why I like doing these, so I can say, oh yeah, oh okay, that works. This powder I already knew that I loved. I am trying to finish up my Smashbox one, you know, that you grind. I do love it. I just want to finish something up. But this is definitely one powder that if I ever had to repurchase, I would. I still feel the Duck Plump, by the way. So what is my conclusion? What are my thoughts from the beginning of the video until now about the perception versus reality? I think it's completely subjective. I still feel so conflicted. Even as I talked it out with you guys, I'm still going back and forth, so unsure about everything. So I don't think I have a conclusion, but I think I did raise some really good questions about perception versus reality. It's all perspective, I think, of the person who's speaking about it. I really would like to hear your thoughts. If I didn't want to hear your thoughts, I wouldn't put it out there into the world for people to comment on. I love you guys. You are all amazingly wonderful, and I'm so grateful that you are here, being part of my channel and my life, and I will see you guys really soon in my next video. Much love, everybody. Bye.